Hello and welcome to this presentation on GoDB. In this presentation, we'll be looking at GStudio. GStudio is an integrated development environment that lets you build, debug, test and deploy all your GoDB applications. GStudio has a project manager, a GUI form builder, source code editor, source level debugger and simulators for all the supported platforms. Now let us open a project. To do that, we go to File, Open Project and we select Sample 1. When you open a project, the files that are there in the project are displayed in the Workspace tab. Here you can see there are two FRM files, one BAS file and one configuration information file. By double clicking on an FRM file, we can actually open that FRM file in the GUI GoDB form builder. This is the GoDB form builder where you can drag drop controls from the control box onto the form. Now let us see how we can do that. We'll click on a text box. We click it over here and the control appears on the form. You can see guidelines that help you align controls automatically. So this way all you have to do is snap to the guideline and the controls get aligned automatically. So let's delete this control and let's open up logon.frm. This is basically the login screen is what gets shown by default in all GoDB applications. So this is a standard default login screen that has been developed. Let's close this. Let's go. Do you want to save the changes? Say no. And now let us look at the home.frm. You can actually change any property by selecting a control and changing it in the property window. This button allows you to order the names of the properties or sort by the name of the properties, which makes it easier to be located, or you can leave it to the default order. This drop down lists all the controls in the form. You can select any control over here. Let me select this control, let me select this control, and let me go back to the label control. You can change. You can, for example, in case you want to change the value of a label, you can directly select it and start typing it. HELLO there, this way. You can also do the same thing for buttons. Say hello. And that is it. In GoDB, the event handlers for a control can be written by just double clicking on the control. GStudio automatically writes the necessary event handler subroutine. A event handler subroutine looks like this. It has the name of the control underscore the event handler name. And if you look at it, the name of the BAS file is the same as the FRM file. This is how GoDB associates a form to a business logic or a BAS file. So that way home.frm events are actually handled in home.bas. So in this example, in the event handler for hello button, we have written a message box that says hello world. Now we can save this, we can save the form, and then we can compile the project by saying build compile, or we can hit this button. Let's compile the project by hitting the compile button. When you hit the compile button, GoDB basically runs the necessary steps that are required to compile the FRM file, BAS file and put them all into the BDB file. In this example, we are saying that there are no errors and there are no warnings. Now you can run this application in the simulator by clicking this button. When you run it, now GoDB has launched the simulator and you can see the login screen here. I can click on login. Here is the home.bas that we just home.frm that we just edited. We can click on that and we can see the message box coming, and we can close this. So here we saw how to edit a form, edit a property in a form and run the application.